Are you sick, broke, and tired? Well, congratulations, you're working as designed. What? Hi, I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Show, and I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. If that's a shock and you just thought you were broken, and that's why, and it's just you and all your fault, it's not. They have programmed you to be poor. If this is the first time you're hearing this, well, buckle up and let's do this. Two things. First off, I wanted to give you a shout out. I am on the road for a speaking event all the way across Canada, and this is one of my first speaking events, so I am super pumped. I'm in a resort chalet in Prince Edward Island, Canada. So I'm super pumped. This is actually one of my pinnacle career moments that I am sharing with you guys. And second, I am extremely fired up, one, because I love travel, and that just gives me the juice to create and share and just spread the message of prosperity. But I just heard of another person being offed, doing medical assisted suicide, in large part because they couldn't afford to live anymore. And I'm just so incredibly angry. Guys, forgive the emotion. I consider myself deep inside. I feel like a warrior for everybody, for humanity, for people, their personal power, chasing their dreams, because I know you can do it. And I know it's no more difficult than living in struggle. And it makes me so mad when I hear people being medically assisted in suicide because they can't afford to live. Like, maybe we should solve the problem instead of offing people. That's number one. And number two, it is obviously clear that the politicians don't know how to solve this problem. And of course, they don't. They created it. So let's hop in. And I'm just gonna riff on this, and there's a bunch of stuff that I would love to share with you that I've discovered over my journey of just about 17 years being self-employed, longer than that. All the mistakes, the learning, the self-development, the studying of millionaires, the studying of money mindset, the reaching career success, generating millions of dollars in my business, building my dream life, property, vehicles, all that stuff. I don't even like bragging about it. I feel like I should have the big jet and the fancy rented estate house like a lot of the YouTube influencers. Then I might be more credible. Truth is, I have built wealth and assets for myself, and it's not that hard. So if you are sick, broke, tired, you are working exactly as designed. And that may seem a little harsh, negative, but it's not. And the truth is, the sooner people wake up to this, the sooner that you realize you just learned the wrong rules of the game and you are operating on outdated software up here, you can begin to change and start changing your life. Hey, it's me. If you're liking this episode so far, subscribe to the channel, like this episode, and join us on this ride. I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. Let's do this. So if I seem heated, it's because I am. People don't need to struggle. Humanity doesn't need to struggle. And I'm fired up. So here we go. Number one, you are programmed in your subconscious mind from 0 to 7 years old. So let's take it one step back. Up here, you have a mind, right? You have thoughts and beliefs and feelings, you have information, wisdom, fears, all of these things in your mind. How do you think they got there? Well, obviously you've been programmed. And in your brain, there's two parts to the brain. There is the subconscious mind that has subconscious programming that's been conditioned. That is 98% of your mental operating capacity. It operates on automatic, like without even thinking. And then there's your conscious mind, which is thought, creation, something that you're doing deliberately. If you're driving downtown in a city, you're really, really, really paying attention because you're alert, right? That's your conscious mind. Now let's use the same example that some people don't like. It's not intentional. If you're on a big open highway and you're driving 2 hours, nobody's around, we don't purposely tune out, but your mind goes into subconscious operating mode if it knows the drive. It's just what the brain does. Or if you are having a conversation, you tune out, you just go into subconscious programming. So here's the thing, 98% of your thoughts come from your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is programmed by the time you're 7 years old. 0 to 7. You're in the theta brain wave state. And that means that you're taking in information. You're easily susceptible. And of course you are, because you're a kid. You need your parents to operate, to live. You don't know anything. You always look at them. Food, water, fun, sore. You're a kid, 0 to 7 years old. You're in absorption mode, right? The adult gods in your life. You're listening to everything that they say, 0 to 7. And you might be, well, that's pretty darn young, so that doesn't matter. Have you ever been around a kid that has heard, let's say a toddler, heard an adult swear and they say it right away? Kids are listening. And it is proven scientific fact, 0 to 7, 98% of your thoughts are programmed. And you're like, well, no, I went to school, went to university, I study for work, I'm always reading books. The problem is that's information that doesn't reprogram your subconscious mind. Those beliefs are in there so deep from 0 to 7 that you don't even know. And in a few of the earlier videos I gave the example of 2 fish in a goldfish bowl. One fish swims by and he says, water's great today, right? And the other goldfish goes, water? Why does he say water? Because he doesn't know any different. I truly don't know how the other guy does. Maybe he just jumps out here and there, but neither here nor there. Let's go with this story because it is simple and it packs a punch. This guy said water because he's like, what? That is it. We don't know what our beliefs are because they are us. Let's say if you grew up in welfare, there is a reason that most recipients of welfare are 3rd or 4th generation because it's habitual. So if you think of that, and hopefully you're middle class, hopefully you're wealthy, but somebody that grows up in welfare, all they see is welfare all around them. So that's what they think their opportunity is, the pinnacle. That's what they think life is. So they see welfare, they think welfare, and then they do the actions of welfare. They don't have the same surroundings to look at as the middle class person or the rich person. So therefore, they think different, right? They're thinking poverty. Oh, well, this is my life. Okay, go sell drugs, whatever, right? Not stereotyping, but poverty and welfare, middle class and wealthy all have different programming just from how they were raised. And giving the welfare examples, a great one. Flip to this side. If you were born wealthy, you see wealth. That's all you expect. You think wealth, and then you do wealth. And chances are, I mean, of course, your parents have more money in this situation, but chances are just because that's all you know, that's what you're going to go out and create. Again, there's better opportunities here, but let's put that aside. This rich kid doesn't know poverty, so he doesn't think poverty, doesn't create poverty. And now the bulk of us in the middle here, the 80% middle class, we know a variation of that. And chances are it's work hard, both parents working, they put their kids through school, They work really hard to make ends meet. It's harder and harder to make ends meet nowadays. That is no secret. Everything is more expensive in 2024. Inflation, interest rates, costs of everything, it is through the roof. Honestly, the white picket fence, the American dream, the Canadian dream for us up in Canada, it's becoming a bit of a nightmare. So let's go to the middle class people. How have we been programmed? Chances are, don't ask for that. We don't have money. Who do you think we are? The Rockefellers? Does money grow on trees? Can you stop asking for that and be grateful? We don't have money for that. We can't afford that. And that's the reality, and that's what it is. But when a kid's hearing that 0 to 7, and then from 7 to 18, or by the time they leave home, that's all you're hearing. Can't afford that. Can't afford that. Stop asking. Be grateful. There's starving kids in China. What do you think by the time that you are going out into the real world? Life is hard. Don't ask for that. We barely make it by. Be grateful. Know your place. Don't think too big. Don't be too big for your britches, right? So you are so very programmed and you don't even know. We are all goldfish in the water going, water? And even at every step of wealth that you create, you become water. You don't know the next level. You're stuck in your box. So that's why it's important. This thing up here, I like to compare it to an iPhone. Your iPhone comes standard with certain apps that you can't get rid of. You can program your limiting beliefs out, but iPhone doesn't let you get rid of some apps. Neither here nor there, but it comes standard. So let's pretend this is an iPhone. We have the standard app of poverty thinking, just getting by, middle class, factory job. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with factory. I come from farming, blue collar, trucker family. God bless blue collar workers. But I'm saying we are programmed by what we see. We don't even know anymore. And the great thing now with social media, we can go on any of the platforms and we see these huge YouTube influencers just creating wealth and fame. And that helps us get out of our area. But up until the times of social media, just think somebody lived in a town like in Michigan, in the factories where they produce automobiles. And that was the extent of the opportunity at that time in that area with what they seen. And the whole goal was to start young and work your way up, get a good pension and retire. Nothing wrong with that. But in that generation, that was one of the only ways to make money, unless you were wealthy and you had the money and the capital to start up a business. Because back then it was big box stores, no internet, right? So we were programmed, and in our area, we didn't really leave. Maybe we went on a vacation. A lot of the families back in the day didn't quite go on holidays like everybody does nowadays, right? So we are programmed by our surroundings. So if we don't see anything else, you're like, water? Oh, what do you mean? Something other than factory job? Something other than waitressing? If you get out of your surrounding and start to see different things, that's how you start to realize there's different opportunities. So your operating system that you have, I want to challenge you. Whose mind, whose thoughts, whose beliefs are you operating on? Chances are they're not yours. So why? Do you ever catch yourself saying something that your mom or dad said or grandma said? A lot of this stuff that we've been programmed has been programmed by our parents. And guess who programmed them? Grandparents. Guess who programmed them? Great-grandparents. And the crazy thing, we're generations and generations removed from the Great Depression, from war, hopefully, my goodness. And we're still operating as in there's no internet, that opportunity is limited to the area that we live in. So we have the thoughts, the mindset from people and past generations programmed in our mind. We need to update the operating system, put some new apps on there, work on our subconscious programming. Honestly, naturally, number one, you are programmed by your surroundings. So if you grew up wealthy, you're going to have a wealthy mindset. Poor mindset. Middle class mindset. You're programmed to be poor by the way you grew up. Number two, everything in our surrounding environment is programming us to be poor. Before we go there, let's go to the school system. The whole point of the school system and why it started was in the industrial age when factories were being built and they needed people to come work in the factories. Well, what happens to the kids? They need a spot for the kids to go. They created the school system, and the whole goal was to create workers just smart enough to go to their job, but not over smart that they know how to work the system and get out of the system. The school system in the 30s was designed to create factory workers. And with all the new opportunities at our fingertips, all the new information on how the mind works, why are we still learning all the same old subjects? Math, algebra, like arithmetic. Has any of us ever used that? Except for if you go into chemistry or some physics and then it's all done on a computer anyways. Why are we learning it? Why didn't we learn budgeting? The effects of interest on debt, interest on savings, how to create a business plan, how to multiply your money. Okay, I get that we didn't have that in the 1930s, but why now? It doesn't make sense. We should be learning all kinds of things. Or do they want us just smart enough to show up, be a good employee, and know how to operate in society? You be the judge. I know my answer. So the school system, it programs you to be poor, job, just over broke. Number two, okay, number one, you're naturally programmed by your family. Number two, you're programmed to be poor by the school system. And number three, newspaper, media, movies, church, community, what else? Everything that surrounds us is giving us subliminal and open messages of poverty. Turn on the news. All you see is homeless encampments in cities, people high on drugs, people doing crazy, sad things. There's a million, zillion great things going on in the world. Why are they only showing you the terrible stuff? Yes, if it bleeds, it leads. I get it. But maybe they're there to keep you scared, in fear, paralyzed, sucking your energy and attention so that you continue to be scared and just show up into the system and do your part. Movies. Who's always the bad guy in movies? It ain't the poor person. Aren't they always the virtuous hero that shows up? And it's always the rich guy that is the demon, the murderer, whatever it is. They subliminally program you to hate wealthy people, and openly. They never focus on the good that wealthy people do they? How many charitable, wealthy people are out there doing amazing things? How many people are doing beautiful things in their life and community? Do we ever hear about that? Not on the big media, maybe on our social media, if we follow the right groups, but not on media. Just maybe, do you think that it's part of the system to keep you broke, sick, tired, on the hamster wheel, in the rat race? You decide. So we covered it. If you are sick, broke, and tired, you're operating as designed. That is the world we live in. And it's the rare person that sees what's happening and learns how to get out. And that's why I have developed the Money Boss Collective, that's our website, and the Money Boss Show, which is a YouTube and podcast show. I am here honestly to help people step into their personal power. We don't have to be robots. We don't have to be rats in the race. I mean, if you like that, that's okay. And not everybody's designed to be self-employed. A lot of people just like going to work and then just having a super rich personal life of leisure all the time. When you decide that wealth is important and you want to break out of the system, things have to change in your life. So not everybody actually wants to get out. Not everybody is going to commit to it. And we're not necessarily taught the personal power that we each have. We literally create our lives every single day. Most of us are creating it by default and not on purpose, because we've just been trained. Show up, go to work, accept your race, keep on going, just make it by, retire, and then have fun. So you're programmed by your family, you're programmed by school, you're programmed by media and everything around us. Sick, broken, tired? You're not broken. You're working as designed. And here's the thing. If you learned that system and you're successfully working in that system, you can start to reprogram your mind, learn what you didn't know, and go, oh, water. There's something other than water out there, as the goldfish would say. And you go, wait a minute, I'm just operating on things that my great-grandma said, that my grandma said, that my mom said. And oh my goodness, I'm thinking with the mindset of my grandparents when we live in the richest time with the most opportunity. Oh my God, I'm operating on the default system that school and my family and my community gave me. I can update these apps up here, iPhone analogy, and succeed. So if you are not living your dream life, you are not broken. Take a deep breath. I know so many people are at their wits' end. They've done everything society told them to do to be successful. They went to university, spent a lot of money, are in a lot of debt, working really hard, doing overtime, and it's still not working. What gives? You're playing the wrong game, and they haven't taught you how powerful you are. And once you know how powerful you are, you can step into your personal power, learn how to make more money because it's a skill, and start to build your dream life, not your default life. I hope you loved this episode. These are the things I'm dying to share with people. Literally, you have the personal power to build the life of your dreams. Let that sink in. Like, I get goosebumps when I say it. For you, for me. We can all create the life of our dreams. So please like and subscribe to this channel, and let's do this.